She was only 9, but that didn't stop her from banging on the gates of a billionaire's mansion, screaming for help, because her mother was dying and no one else would listen. What Lena didn't know was that the billionaire who opened that door was the very man her mother had spent 10 years running from. If you're new here, welcome to Soulscript Stories. Hit subscribe, because today's story will break your heart, heal it, and break it again. Lena's life had always been painful, but on this day, everything changed. Lena was running again, barefoot on rough concrete, clutching a small basket of mangoes tight against her chest, while 2 older boys chased after her, shouting and grabbing at her clothes. "Give it here, girl," one yelled. They had tried to steal from her 3 times this week, and even though Lena's legs were shaking from hunger and fear, she refused to stop. She couldn't. Her mother needed medicine today, not tomorrow, not when they got money. Today. A truck sped past her, its horn blasting, forcing her to jump out of the way as she stumbled. But she kept going, her heartbeat thundering in her ears. She dashed into a narrow alley between 2 abandoned buildings, ducked behind a dented trash bin, and waited until the boys' footsteps faded. When silence settled, she checked her basket. The mangoes were safe, none missing. She exhaled shakily. "Mama, I'll get the money," she whispered to herself. By the time she reached her usual selling spot, people barely looked at her. Some pretended she wasn't there. Others stepped around her as if she were a problem lying on the floor. She tried to smile, tried to speak, but her stomach twisted painfully from hunger. "Please," she whispered to a woman in sunglasses. "Just 1 mango. I need to buy medicine for my mother." The woman kept walking. A man glanced her way and then turned his head sharply, as if ignoring her made her disappear. For a moment, Lena's eyes burned with tears. She blinked hard. Crying wouldn't help Mama Selena. Crying wouldn't pay for medicine. Across the street, 2 street vendors argued loudly. "You want money?" one snapped. "Go to Ridgewater Heights. The rich people there buy anything." Ridgewater Heights, the wealthiest neighborhood in the city. Tall gates, long driveways, houses with more windows than she'd seen in her life. Lena hugged her basket, swallowed her fear, and whispered, "Mama, I'm going." She walked toward the bus route, but she didn't have bus fare. Instead, she walked. Took nearly an hour. The sun burned her shoulders. Her feet ached. But eventually she reached the base of Ridgewater Heights. Mansions stretched up the hill like castles. Black iron gates, stone driveways, sculpted gardens. Everything looked unreal, clean, perfect, untouched. She approached the nearest gate. A guard stepped forward immediately. "You can't stand here. I just want to sell mangoes," she said softly. He snorted. "People here don't buy from kids on the street. Move along." She moved to the next mansion. Rejected again. 3rd mansion. Rejected. 4th. Laughed at. She nearly gave up. Her basket felt heavier than her whole body, until she reached the biggest mansion yet. A massive stone house with glass walls and a giant fountain near the entrance. The gate was slightly open. She froze. Should she? She whispered a small prayer, pressed her lips together, and slipped through the gate quietly. She only stepped 3 feet inside when a deep voice called sharply behind her. "Stop right there." She spun around, heart hammering. A man was walking toward her. Tall, broad-shouldered, dark skin, sharp jaw, eyes intense and calculating. His presence filled the space like he owned not just the mansion, but the world around it. Lena's breath caught. She'd seen this man's face before, on billboards on TV. Daniel Hartman, the billionaire owner of Hartman Global Enterprises. The richest man in the state. She immediately dropped to her knees in fear. "I'm sorry, sir." The gate was open. "I didn't mean to trespass. I only wanted to sell mangoes. My mother is very sick. I need to." "Stand up," he said quietly. His tone wasn't angry, just controlled. Deep, heavy. It made her obey instantly. "You look exhausted," he said. "When did you eat last?" She hesitated. "Yesterday." He glanced at her thin arms, the dirt on her feet, the trembling in her hands. His jaw tightened with something she didn't understand. "Let me see the mangoes," he said. She handed him the basket. He checked one, then another before looking at her again. "How much for all of them?" Her eyes widened. "All?" "Yes, all. $30, sir." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a crisp $100 bill. Her mouth dropped. "No, sir, no. That's too much." "It's fine," he said simply. "Take it." Her throat tightened. Tears filled her eyes. "Thank you. You don't know what this means. My mother." Her voice cut off abruptly. Behind him, through the open doorway, she saw a framed photograph on the wall. Her mother, young, smiling, standing beside a fountain. Lena froze completely. Daniel followed her gaze, and the moment his eyes landed on the photo, he stopped breathing. His grip on the mango basket tightened so hard his knuckles turned white. His face, cool and unreadable a moment ago, suddenly filled with raw shock. "Why are you staring at that picture?" he asked, voice low. "That's my mother," Lena whispered. "That's my mama Selena." Absolute silence fell. Heavy, crushing. Daniel slowly turned to face her fully. "What did you say?" "That's mama," she repeated softly. "Her name is Selena Okoye." Daniel staggered a step backward as if someone had punched him. His breathing became uneven. His eyes filled with something wild. Fear, disbelief, hope, grief, all tangled together. "She's alive," he whispered. Lena frowned. "Why wouldn't she be alive?" He stared at her intensely. "How old are you?" 10. His eyes closed. His jaw clenched. His hands trembled. "And your father?" he asked. "Who is he?" "I don't have one," she said simply. "Mama said he's gone." Daniel inhaled sharply, pain flashing across his face. "Gone," he repeated under his breath. "She told you I was gone." I don't understand," Lena whispered. Daniel took a slow step toward her. "Where is your mother right now?" "At home," Lena said nervously. "She's sick." He turned abruptly, grabbed his car keys from a table inside, and pointed toward the driveway. "Get in the car." Lena stiffened. "Sir, please, don't take me away." "I'm not taking you anywhere," he said, voice trembling. "I'm taking you to your mother." "Why?" she whispered. He looked at her with eyes full of storms. "Because," he said slowly, "I think I'm your father." The basket nearly slipped from her hands. "You what?" "Get in the car," he repeated. "Please." Lena hesitated. Then Daniel knelt down so he was eye level with her. He wasn't a billionaire in that moment. He wasn't powerful. He looked broken. "I swear on my life," he whispered, "I would never hurt you. I've been searching for your mother for 10 years. Her breath hitched. She nodded. Daniel rose, opened the car door for her, and helped her inside gently. She looked at him one last time. "What is your name, sir?" He swallowed. "Daniel Hartman." Her stomach flipped. The billionaire everyone talked about. And the man who might be her father. The SUV engine roared to life, and Lena clutched her basket, eyes wide as Daniel maneuvered through Ridgewater Heights' winding roads. The mansion faded behind them, but the photograph in his home kept flashing in Lena's mind. The way his eyes had widened, the shaking in his hands. It was nothing like she had ever seen. She had seen men cry on TV, yes, but never like that. Never in real life. Never someone so powerful looking broken. "Where are we going?" she asked, voice barely above a whisper. Her stomach churned with fear and excitement. "To your mother," Daniel said, his eyes locked on the road. "And I need answers, Lena. Everything you can tell me about her." "She's sick," Lena said quickly, gripping the basket tighter. "She coughs all the time. Blood, sometimes. Her voice cracked, and a sob escaped. "I sell mangoes every day. I need to buy her medicine, sir. Please." Daniel's knuckles whitened on the wheel. "I know. That's why we're moving fast. No more waiting. No one will stop us. Not this time." Lena didn't answer. She just stared out the window, taking in the neighborhood's perfectly manicured trees and fountained courtyards. Each house seemed like a castle, untouchable, safe, and unreachable. Until now. Until she was inside Daniel's world. 20 minutes later, the SUV stopped in front of a small, run-down apartment building. The paint was peeling, the steps cracked, and the front door hung slightly off its hinges. Lena's heart sank. This was her life. This was what Daniel had just left behind. She felt embarrassed and ashamed, suddenly smaller than ever. Daniel didn't seem to notice. He opened the passenger door and gestured for her to go ahead. "Come on," he said, voice firm but gentle. "Let's meet her." The apartment door creaked as Lena pushed it open. A thin woman hunched over a small table looked up from a worn cloth she was cleaning. Her eyes widened, and she coughed violently. Blood spotted her hand. Lena ran forward. "Mama! Mama!" She dropped the basket and helped her mother sit up. Daniel stepped inside carefully, taking in every detail. Selena Okoye. He recognized the woman immediately, though time had added shadows and pain to her face. Her skin, dark and warm like Lena's, reminded him of every memory he had tried desperately to hold on to. He swallowed hard, his chest tightening with both longing and fear. "Daniel!" Selena's voice cracked, trembling, weak. "Is it you?" "Yes," he said softly. "It's me." She looked at him, disbelief written across every line on her face. "How? I thought you were gone. I've been looking for you," he said, moving closer. "Every day. 10 years. Every day I've been searching. And now I finally found you." Selena's eyes welled with tears, her frailty clashing with the strength she once held. "You have a daughter," Lena whispered from beside her. Her small hand held onto Selena's arm tightly. Daniel knelt slowly, resting his hands on Lena's tiny shoulders. "And you, Lena, you're my daughter," he said, voice breaking. "I didn't know. I had no idea." Lena's head spun. You're my father?" He nodded. "Yes, and I swear, I will not leave again. I will take care of both of you. Everything." Selena coughed violently again, and Daniel's hands shot to her back, steadying her. Fear gripped him. She was frail. She was sick. Too sick to have lived through these years without proper care. His mind raced. Medicine. Hospital. Immediate treatment. "Selena," he said, urgency creeping into his voice. "We're going to get you help. Now, you're coming with me. No arguments." I can't leave," she whispered. "I don't have money. Money is the least of your worries." Daniel cut in, irritation flashing. "No. We leave now." He gestured toward Lena. "Get in the car. Now." Selena shook her head weakly. I can't." Daniel took a deep breath, his voice softening but firm. "I'm your family. Trust me. We'll take care of you. Just come." Slowly, with Lena supporting her, Selena managed to stand. She leaned heavily on Daniel's arm as they walked outside. The SUV was waiting, engine running. Daniel opened the door, helping Selena into the seat, then secured Lena beside her. Every movement was precise, controlled, but his mind raced with worry, anger, and regret all at once. 10 years. 10 years lost. His daughter, his love, hidden away because of... who? His mother. That's who. The drive to the hospital was tense. Selena coughed violently multiple times. Daniel kept a steady hand on her shoulder, murmuring reassurance, but inside he was panicking. He could feel the fear coiling in his chest like a snake. Every minute mattered. Every second was life or death. At the hospital, the staff immediately rushed Selena into emergency care. Daniel followed closely, refusing to leave her side. Doctors and nurses worked quickly, but Daniel demanded tests, scans, medicine, anything that could stabilize her. He paid without hesitation, signing forms, waving credit cards, and watching the doctors nod in recognition of his authority. Hours passed. Selena lay pale and exhausted, while Lena clung to Daniel, still trying to process everything. Finally, a doctor approached. "She's stable for now," he said. But she needs monitoring. And we should run a paternity test for the child just to be thorough. Daniel didn't hesitate. Do it, he said, voice sharp. And make it fast. Lena frowned. What does that mean? She asked softly. Daniel crouched beside her. It means we're going to find out for sure if I'm really your dad. And if I am, we're going to be a family. Finally. Her eyes widened. Hope mixed with fear. She had waited so long for something like this. But fear of loss lingered. Daniel smiled gently, brushing her hair back. Nothing will separate us again, he promised. Later, after Selena rested, Daniel sat in the empty waiting room, arms folded, jaw tense. Memories of the woman he had loved, the years he had searched, the secrets and lies his mother had orchestrated. It all came crashing down. He clenched his fists. 10 years lost. And now, this fragile little family in front of him. He would protect them at all costs. No one would hurt them again. Not his mother, not the world. Just then, Lena tugged on his sleeve. Sir, are you really my dad? Yes, he said, voice low but unwavering. And I promise from now on, I'm never leaving. Her small hands wrapped around his, her eyes shining with tears. Then, will you help Mama get better? Daniel nodded, swallowing hard. I will. Every step. Every minute. I swear it. For the first time in 10 long years, Daniel felt a sense of purpose beyond wealth, beyond power. He had a family, a daughter, a woman he had loved and lost. And now, he would fight to make up for every single day they had been apart. But even as hope filled the room, a shadow lingered in his mind. His mother, Vivian Hartman. He knew this reunion would not go unchallenged. Her manipulation, control, and cruelty had caused these 10 years of separation. He would face her, and when he did, there would be no compromise. Not this time. Outside, the city lights twinkled faintly against the night sky. Inside, a daughter clung to her new father. A mother rested under the watchful eyes of the man who had loved her all these years, and Daniel Hartman felt the weight of the next storm already forming. And for Lena, 10 years of hardship, running, and fear had finally brought her here. Here to safety, here to answers, here to family. And though the road ahead was uncertain, for the first time, she dared to hope. The next morning, Daniel didn't sleep. He sat beside Selena's hospital bed, his hand brushing hers every few minutes, his eyes scanning the monitors and her pale face. Every cough made his stomach twist. Every weak murmur of her voice tightened something deep inside him. 10 years of searching, 10 years of silence. And now she was here, sick, vulnerable, in need of him, and he had to fix everything. Lena sat quietly in the corner, small hands folded on her lap, eyes wide. She hadn't slept either. She had never seen anyone so powerful, yet so tender. Daniel Hartman, the billionaire everyone in the city talked about, was kneeling beside her mother, whispering softly, talking to her like she was the most fragile thing in the world. Lena, he said suddenly, turning toward her, do you know why your mother left me? She shook her head, fear and curiosity fighting inside her. I don't, sir. Daniel's jaw tightened, and he closed his eyes for a moment. My mother, he said slowly. She didn't want us together. She made life impossible for Selena, threatened her, manipulated. I was powerless to stop her. Lena's small hands gripped the chair. Why? She asked. Why would she do that? Daniel's voice shook, for the first time betraying real anger. Because she's cruel. Because she wanted control. Because she didn't care what she destroyed. And she did destroy. 10 years lost. My daughter hidden away. My love in hiding. His voice broke. And I did nothing. Selena stirred, coughing violently again. Daniel's hand flew to her back instinctively. Lena jumped forward. Mama! Mama! Daniel's eyes hardened. We fixed this, he said firmly. No more running. No more hiding. The doctor entered, clipboard in hand. Selena, your vitals are stabilizing. She's responding well to treatment, but she's weak. And we need to discuss the paternity test for Lena. Daniel's fists clenched. He didn't need a test to know. He knew. But for Lena's mother, and for official proof, it had to be done. Do it, he said, voice tight. And I want results today. And before the story continues, if you're feeling drawn in already, take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe to Soulscript Stories. It truly helps us keep bringing you powerful stories every week. Lena watched as Daniel handed over forms, signed them, and instructed the staff. His focus was razor-sharp, like a predator protecting his own. Her small chest swelled. He was hers. He was here. Finally. Hours crawled by. Selena rested, finally breathing more steadily, while Daniel barely left the room. Every sound made him flinch. Every cough made him clench his jaw. And then the doctor returned, papers in hand. The test. Lena, this confirms it, the doctor said gently. You are indeed Daniel Hartman's biological daughter. Tears welled in Lena's eyes. She clutched Daniel's hand tightly. You really are my dad? Daniel smiled, eyes glistening. Yes, and I promise, nothing will ever separate us again. Selena opened her eyes slowly, voice weak but steady. Daniel, is that true? He nodded. Yes, Selena. Your daughter, our daughter. Her hands shook as she reached for Lena. My baby, my Lena. Her voice broke. For the first time in years, she allowed herself to cry, and Daniel let her. He held both of them, letting the tension, the years, the fear dissolve into this fragile but perfect moment. But that fragile moment was shattered minutes later when Daniel's phone buzzed insistently. He ignored it once, twice, but then his assistant's voice came through, firm. Mr. Hartman, it's your mother. She insists on speaking with you immediately. Daniel's eyes darkened. Lena clung to his side. Selena's eyes widened. Your mother? She asked weakly. Daniel inhaled sharply. Yes, he said. Vivian Hartman. I've tried to avoid her, but she won't stop. Before anyone could protest, he answered. Mother, he said, his voice low and controlled. What do you want? There was a pause. Then her sharp, cold voice cut through the speaker. Daniel, I've heard you've been very busy playing family man. Have you forgotten everything I built? Do you think you can just waltz into my world with this charade? Daniel's jaw tightened. This is not a charade. My daughter, Selena. You have no right. I have every right, she hissed. You are my son. You belong to me. You will do as I say. You cannot erase me. You cannot erase the Hartman name. Daniel's eyes flared. I can and I will. You destroyed 10 years of my life. You tried to destroy my love. You tried to destroy my family. Not anymore. Stay away from them, or I swear, I will make sure you have nothing. Nothing. A sharp silence followed. He ended the call. Lena's small hand gripped his arm. Daddy, what just happened? They, he said quietly, don't like us, but it doesn't matter. We're stronger than that. We have each other, and we're not letting anyone hurt us again. Selena's lips quivered. Daniel, thank you. I was so afraid, all these years. You don't have to be afraid anymore, he said softly, brushing a strand of hair from her forehead. I'm here, always. Lena hugged both of them, her heart racing. For the first time, she felt safe. For the first time, hope didn't feel fragile. Felt real. Felt alive. That night, when the hospital finally dimmed its lights, Daniel stayed by their side. He whispered to Lena stories of the world outside, of the life he would give her, of the home they would share. Selena rested, exhausted but comforted by his presence. And Lena, finally feeling the weight of fear lift, leaned against him, eyelids heavy, heart light. But Daniel's mind raced even as he spoke gently. Vivian Hartman. She would not let this go. And when she came for them, she would come with everything she had: power, influence, money. Everything. He would be ready. He had to be ready. For Selena. For Lena. For himself. He looked at the photograph on the bedside table. A younger version of Selena, a reminder of the past, promise for the future. And Daniel Hartman made a vow in that quiet hospital room. He would protect this family, every moment, every day. No one would ever take them away again. Not his mother, not the world, not anyone. And somewhere deep inside, Lena slept peacefully, dreaming for the first time in years of a world where her father loved her, where her mother was safe, where life was finally, just maybe, going to be okay. Daniel didn't sleep that night. Not really. He stayed in the hospital room, sitting rigidly in a chair beside Selena's bed, listening to the soft rhythm of the monitors and the quiet breathing of the two people he had fought so long to protect. Lena slept in a small cot, curled up with her tiny hands gripping a blanket, and Daniel felt a strange mixture of awe and terror. How fragile they were, how powerful he was, and yet how powerless he had been all these years. Morning came too fast. Selena stirred, coughing weakly, but there was strength in her eyes. Daniel helped her sit upright and handed her water. "You're stronger than you think," he said gently. "Every day a little stronger. I'm not leaving your side." Lena bounced up from her cot. "Daddy, can we go home soon? Can we go live at your house?" Her small voice trembled with excitement and fear. Daniel smiled, ruffling her hair. "Soon, Lena. But first we make sure Mama Selena is fully better. You'll see. Soon we'll all be together." Selena reached out, gripping his hand weakly. "Daniel, you've done so much already. I don't know how to thank you." "You don't need to thank me," he said. "I'm your family. That's all that matters." A sudden buzz from Daniel's phone broke the tender moment. He glanced at it. Vivian Hartman, his mother, the woman who had stolen 10 years from him. He ignored it at first, but it buzzed again, insistent, demanding. He pressed it to his ear. "Mother." "Daniel." Her sharp, venomous tone cut through the line. "You think you can just claim this family? You think you can ignore me and take them from me? You are my son, Daniel. You belong to me. That child, that woman. None of them are yours to play with." Daniel's voice grew low, dangerous, shaking with fury. "Mother, you destroyed everything once. 10 years of my life. I will not let you destroy them again. Stay away. Do you understand? I will not warn you again." A harsh laugh came through the phone. "You think you're strong enough to defy me? Do you think you can erase me from your life? I am the Hartman name. You cannot fight me." Daniel's hands gripped the phone so tightly his knuckles whitened. "I am stronger than you, Mother. And this family, my family, is mine to protect. Stay away, or you will regret it." She screamed, a mix of rage and disbelief, then slammed the line down. Daniel sank back into the chair, jaw tight, chest heaving. Lena's small hand reached for his. "Daddy, are you okay?" He bent down, holding her close. "I'm fine, Lena. They can't touch us. Not anymore. We're together now, and that's what matters." Selena, still weak, gave a small smile. "I never imagined. I never dreamed." She coughed violently again, and Daniel steadied her, his anger fading into concern. We have to be careful." By midday, Selena's strength had improved enough for them to leave the hospital. Daniel helped her into a sleek black SUV, Lena hopping in beside them, holding her father's hand tightly. The drive to Daniel's mansion was quiet, each of them lost in their own thoughts, the city skyline fading behind them as they ascended into Ridgewater Heights once more. When the massive iron gates of Daniel's mansion swung open, Lena's eyes widened in awe. The sprawling gardens, the fountain, the polished marble floors. It was a palace compared to the tiny apartment they had just left. Daniel opened the door, letting Selena walk slowly inside, holding her hand firmly. Lena ran ahead, exploring cautiously, eyes darting to every detail. This is our home now?" Lena asked breathlessly. "Yes," Daniel said, smiling down at her. "All of us, together. This is home." Selena sank onto a cream-colored sofa, exhausted but smiling. "It's beautiful," she whispered. I never imagined. Daniel knelt beside her, taking her hand. You're safe now. No one can hurt you here. No one will. Lena tugged at his sleeve. Daddy, can we have breakfast first? And can we have mangoes every day? She giggled, trying to break the tension. Daniel laughed softly, ruffling her hair. Yes, Lena. Breakfast first. Mangoes after. The sound of laughter, Selena's weak, but real, and Lena's bubbling, filled the room. For the first time in years, Daniel felt a sense of peace. But it was fragile, and he knew it. Vivian would not stop. And when she came, it would not be gentle. That evening, as Selena rested, Daniel walked to the study and stared at the city lights outside the window. He called his assistant, firm but controlled. Prepare the house. Security. Cameras. Guards. No one enters without my approval. And track every movement of Vivian Hartman. I want to know if she so much as steps onto the property. Yes, Mr. Hartman, the assistant replied immediately. Daniel's jaw tightened. He knew confrontation was inevitable. But he was ready. Finally, he had a family worth fighting for. Lena and Selena, his love, his daughter, and no one, not even his mother, would take them from him. That night, he sat with Lena and Selena in the living room. Lena clung to his side as Selena rested against his chest. Daddy,
I'm scared, Lena whispered.
will she come for us? Daniel held her tighter. If she does, we fight. Together. And I will never let anything happen to you, Lena. Ever. Selena's hand brushed against his cheek. Daniel, I feel safe with you. I can't believe this is real. It is real, he said softly, kissing her forehead. And I will make sure it stays that way. The mansion was quiet around them. The only sound the soft hum of air conditioning and the occasional chirp of a night bird. But Daniel's mind was anything but quiet. Plans, strategies, defenses. All of it swirled as he prepared for the inevitable confrontation with Vivian. He would not falter. He could not. For Lena. For Selena. Outside, the night air shimmered over the estate. But inside, a new family had begun to stitch the wounds of the past. And as Daniel held them both close, he knew one thing with certainty. No matter the storm that came, they would face it together. And this time, nothing would tear them apart. The morning sun spilled into the mansion, golden and bright. But Daniel felt the tension in the air. Vivian Hartman had not relented. Her calls, her messages, her threats, they were escalating. Daniel had spent the night reviewing security footage, adjusting cameras, and preparing his mansion like a fortress. But today she would come in person. He knew it, and he was ready. The first sound of tires crunching on the long driveway made his heart pound. He ushered Lena and Selena into the study, away from the front doors. Stay here. No one comes in without my say, he instructed. His voice was calm, but his eyes burned with steel. Lena clung to him, whispering, Daddy, is she here? Yes, Daniel whispered back. But I've got you. Both of you. Nothing will touch us. The front doors opened, and a sharp, cold voice filled the grand entryway. Daniel Hartman, open the doors, or I'll have the police here in 5 minutes. Vivian Hartman's voice rang with authority, arrogance, and pure malice. Daniel's fists clenched. Mother, he said, calm but deadly. You do not get to dictate anything here. Step off my property. You are not welcome. Do you think you can erase me? Vivian screamed. You've taken my family from me. This girl, this woman, they are nothing without me. Daniel stepped forward, his presence enormous. Enough. You tried to destroy my life, to destroy my love, to destroy my daughter. Not this time. You will leave. Now. Vivian's eyes narrowed, and she laughed, sharp and venomous. I see. The little girl is with you. Lena, is it? Such a pretty child. Such a shame. That she doesn't know what she belongs to. Daniel's patience snapped. She belongs to me, and to Selena, and no one touches them. The tension was thick, heavy, almost suffocating. Vivian stepped forward, hands raised as if daring him. You think you can stop me? I built this empire, Daniel. I raised you. I decide. Daniel stepped closer, his voice low and dangerous. I decide now. You will leave my family alone, or I will make sure you have nothing. Nothing. Do you understand? Vivian's face paled slightly. Daniel's calm, deadly authority filled the room. She realized, for the first time, she had underestimated him. She had underestimated the strength of the man she had tried to control for so long, and the love he now wielded as a weapon. Very well, she hissed finally, her shoulders stiffening. This isn't over. It's over for today, Daniel said. And every day after this, you will respect my family, or you will have nothing. Vivian stormed out, leaving the mansion echoing with silence. Daniel's body relaxed just slightly. He turned to Lena and Selena. It's okay. She's gone. For now. Lena ran into his arms, tears streaming. Daddy, you're really my dad. You're really here. You're really staying. Yes, he whispered, holding her tight. I'm here. Always. Selena leaned against him, exhaustion and relief mixing in her voice. Daniel, I feel safe. I can't believe this. I can't believe we're together. You don't have to believe it, he said, brushing a strand of hair from her face. It's real, and it's forever. The days that followed were filled with small miracles. Selena regained strength, walking through the gardens with Lena skipping beside her. Daniel ensured doctors visited daily. Nurses checked constantly, and the mansion felt alive again with laughter, warmth, and security. The opulent halls no longer felt empty. They were filled with family, love, and healing. One evening, as the sun set, painting the sky with hues of gold and crimson, Daniel gathered Selena and Lena in the main hall. He knelt, holding both of them close. I know we've lost so much time, he said softly. 10 years. But we have the rest of our lives now. And I promise you, every day, I will make it count. Every day we rebuild, we laugh, we love. Together. Lena's eyes sparkled. Daddy, does this mean we're a real family now? Really? Yes, Lena, Daniel said, his voice strong and warm. A real family. Forever. Selena squeezed his hand, her smile radiant. Daniel, you've given us hope again. You've given us life. Tears glistened in Daniel's eyes. No one will ever take it away. Not now. Not ever. Weeks passed. The mansion transformed. Gardens bloomed. Laughter echoed. And the walls felt alive with love. Daniel, Selena, and Lena built new routines. Breakfast together every morning, walks in the gardens, storytelling by the fireplace. Every day, the bond grew stronger, insecurities faded, and the shadows of the past diminished under the warmth of family unity. One morning, Daniel surprised Selena with a bouquet of her favorite flowers. For you, he said, smiling gently. Because you fought, you survived. And now we live. Selena's eyes filled with tears. Daniel, you've given me everything I lost. Everything I dreamed of. You're more than I could have hoped for. Daniel pulled her close, wrapping her in a protective embrace. And I'm never letting go. We're together now. Always. Lena jumped into their hug, laughing. Daddy, Mama? We're really a family. Yes, Lena, Daniel whispered, kissing her hair. We're real. We're whole. And we're unstoppable. The final confrontation with Vivian became a distant threat, overshadowed by the strength of the new family. Daniel had secured their lives, their love, and their home. The mansion, once a symbol of wealth and isolation, now radiated warmth, laughter, and unity. Every wall, every room, every hallway carried the echoes of hope restored and pain healed. And that night, as Lena slept peacefully in her new room, Daniel and Selena sat by the fireplace, holding hands. The world outside might still be chaotic, still hold threats, still carry shadows of the past. But inside this mansion, inside this family, there was peace. There was love. There was certainty. Daniel looked at Selena, eyes soft but burning with unwavering resolve. We did it, he whispered. We survived. And no one will ever take this from us again. Selena smiled, resting her head on his shoulder. Forever, she whispered. Lena, curled up between them, murmured in her sleep. Forever. The mansion glowed in the moonlight. The garden fountains sparkled. And for the first time in over a decade, Daniel Hartman, his daughter Lena, and Selena could finally breathe. Together, safe, loved, whole. And in that quiet, perfect night, a promise lingered in the air. No matter what came next, no force in the world could tear this family apart. True love, resilience, and courage had finally found their way home. Thank you so much for watching Soulscript Stories. If the story touched your heart, please like, comment, and subscribe. And tell us in the comments, what part of Lena's journey touched your heart the most? More incredible stories are on the way, and we'd love to have you here with us.